Good morning, champions. Happy Wednesday morning, coming to you live from the 5 a.m. club, where we get up early and we conquer our morning to own our day. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Wednesday morning. Third day of the SLS new year. And my message for everybody this morning, a little more complex thought process, but I'm thinking about it as I'm heading to the gym and just how much it applies to your career and ability and talent and all those things. Excuse me. And what I'm trying to say is I've trained for triathlons, but more often people do marathons and things like that. And it's a reminder that in order to run a marathon, you've got to train. You've got to do all that stuff. And I guess there's two sides to this coin. One, it's an incredible statistic you see where people who are very out of shape and, overweight, haven't run a lot, have health conditions, stuff like that, can still, like, the human body is incredible, right? Can still go run a marathon. Maybe not fast, but can go run a marathon and finish it often if they've done any sort of training and some running and stuff like that, and still finish it. Now, yes, they'll be sore, they'll be tired, they'll have blisters, they'll have all that stuff, but they completed something they never thought they were physically capable of doing. So I put that on one end, basically saying, I have had some conversations with agents, well, I'm just trying to work up to 25 hours, or I'm trying to just get used to being on the phone and stuff like that. So one, you can do anything you put your mind to if you just put your mind to it. But then on the other side of it, when you're talking about people that are training to win and training to do different things, and you look at, the greatest athletes in the world, or you're talking about trying to get a PR in a marathon and stuff like that. If when I was training for the triathlon, if I just got up every day and ran the exact same distance, let's say I did a 5K every single morning when I was training, you're not going to improve that time that significantly if you're doing it the same way. And so I guess the analogy that made sense in my brain as I was getting in my truck this morning is what is required in order to best your time when you're trying to get faster, and really anything that you're doing. It was running, biking, swimming, anything like that, is when you hit that point where you think you've got to give up, is to, one, push through, and to, two, attempt to sprint the finish. And what that means is when your VO2 max and all these things get so high, but you see that finish line, and you know that the end is in sight. If you can push and you can sprint that, pushing your body to its limits in that moment, that is how you're going to get your muscles and your lungs and everything to improve and to get better. And so the concept of sprinting the finish is something that often helps people get better and better and better at what they do. And so you often hear, if you hang out early and talk with Rory and do things like that, and he talks about the best time to make a sale is right after you make a sale, or that if you always make the last call sale, how much more success you have. That's that same methodology. Is if it's 6 o'clock and you make a sale, instead of saying, well, I'm proud of myself, let me walk away, if you try and sprint the finish and say, let me see if I can get one more, let me make my last call a sale, let me push, let me do these things in order to be more successful, then you'll be amazed at what that does to your confidence, to your ability, to your averages, to your numbers over time, and it can make all the difference in the world. And so that, I'm sure I'm not actually passing the school bus, that notion helped me so much, both as I was getting in shape and I started to do different different, 5Ks and triathlons and different things like that. But also in business, right? When it came to SLS, and always trying to make my last call a sale, always trying to sprint the finish, always trying to make another sale after another sale. And then that helped me, constantly best my best. So the first time I ever wrote 5K was the first time I ever wrote 5K. And then I tried to get to 6, and and sometimes I would greatly exceed it. Just like sometimes I'd have a PR that was so insanely better in running, right? And then I had 10K weeks. And so I was pushing, and then it was like, okay, how quick can I get President's Challenge? And can I win this contest? And we didn't have as many contests as we have now, but it made all the difference in the world. And so that's my encouragement this morning. I know that was a little bit longer. I know it was a little bit of a ramble, but I want you to make that correlation and say, okay, as we're still in this SLS new year, like if you're just barely hitting 5 hours, like try and sprint the finish, right? And try and get to 6, and try and do it more efficiently, and try and do it faster, and try and squeeze the fat out of the day, and try and take less breaks, and try and do all this stuff so you can get more efficient at your job, right? Because the only way to have this year be better than last year is to either work harder, work smarter, or ideally both, right? And so don't just work harder, but do it super inefficiently, where you're like, well, I'm working 12-hour days, but I'm only getting 4 hours of talk time. Well, then you're not really working 12-hour days, right? And so it's all about evaluating your stats, evaluating your numbers, and then trying to push yourself to be better than you were yesterday, right? And so that's where we get to my daily reminder to aspire to be better today than you were yesterday, and to do it every single day. And if you do it every single day, guys, you'll be amazed at where you end up. So let's have a fantastic Wednesday. Make sure you get on the National Zoom on time. Make sure you're then in the 901 Club. Make sure you push yourself. Make sure you sprint the finish. Let's have a fantastic Wednesday. See you guys soon. I'm out. Woo!